Hello everyone, thank you for inviting me to share with you the story of Even3, and thanks for inviting me to share with you. It's also my first presentation in English. I'm very happy about that, and I think our team too, to bring our story and share with more people around the globe. And I share with you some lessons that we have building the Even3. So first of all, who is Leandro? I have a bachelor in computer science. My background is in computer science, and I think that we have T-shaped professionals now. That my base is computer science, but I like to study marketing, sales, and that's helped me a lot to develop the startup. And I also have 12 years in IT. I didn't start as a founder of startup. I started working for another companies and I learned a lot in this process. I broke a startup in 2012. I learned a lot in this process. Broken a startup's not good, but I took a lot of lessons. For example, I focused too much at the product and didn't talk too much with the customers. It's very common at people that loves only computer science, but on the product don't sales itself. So you need to talk with your customers. And it was a big lesson, hard lesson, broke my first startup. And after that, I worked again, and now I'm at the role of co-founder and CEO of Even3, and I share with you how we build it, and hope that you can learn something from that. And first, I will take some steps back about startups. Maybe you only know some things from media, but I like to share here some points to start. So a startup is an organization formed to search a repeatable and scalable business model. So the main point is how to be scalable, how most people use in a fast pace your product. So that's the main point. And most of the solutions to be scalable use technology, but that's not the only way, but the easier way that with little money you can start your company and start growing. So that's the main point about startups. And we see some famous startups in media, and we think that's the only way, or that maybe after the university you start as a successful startups, but that's the exception. And how fast they grow, not every startups grow so fast like Facebook that had 1 million users in 10 months only. So it's very fast, very difficult to have that, and especially like Mark Zuckerberg that came from university, and just after that they started he started the Facebook. But that's the exception, it's not the rule about startups. I like to share this point of view too. So like Dropbox also got in 7 months 1 million users, Spotify in 5 months, Instagram in 2.5 months. So they were very, very fast. We didn't do that so fast. We took 30 months to get 1 million users, but we are very proud of that. It's a huge mark. I will share some of learnings about this process, and I hope you learn something or enjoy about that. And first, I will point here some QR codes that you can see and read in more details. I love this article about from Paul Graham. He's from Silicon Valley. He's very famous in startup area, and this article is very good about starting. He says that do things that don't scale at the beginning. You don't need to have million customers or thousands of customers at the first month. You need to understand very well about your customers, the pain points about them to start your startup. So that's a very important point about. No? So first things about validation. You need, here's our founder team. here is me, here is Renato and Klaus that are my co-founders. And we are a very complementary team, so that's very important too. So I focus more in business. Renato is more focused on CX, customer experience, and Claudio is focused more on the product. So that was very good. So we can develop the product, talk with customers, and some point about validation is the startup weekend program that's very good. So it's an event that you can validate in 48 hours your idea. I really recommend this event. It's very nice. So first, we faced this problem. We had a professor that were organizing an event, and he had a lot of problems organizing, like organize the registration, payments, the schedule, the paper submission if you are academic event or scientific, the check-in, the paper publication after the event. So he had tons of tools like email and other platforms, and it was a mess. So the professor didn't have so much time organizing the event. So that was the pain point that he had, and a lot of them has today too. And here was our solution to be the one-stop shop that you can organize all the life cycle of your event. So that was the main point since the beginning of our startup. And here pass through the years how we evolved this solution, what we learned, and how we build our company. And here is the most common life cycle of startups. So first you pass through the valley of the death. Most of startups dies here because you don't develop the right product, or the customers don't want it, or you don't have money and you don't generate revenue. So most of startups dies here. So we see the most successful in the media, but most of them dies here. And here I will pass through the presentation, through this life cycle, where you pass it, what we learned in for these steps. And here are some inspirations that we had at the beginning in 2015. Delivering Happiness is an awesome book, focused on customer experience. How do you deliver happiness to your customers and also your team? So we got a lot of lessons and applied at our startup since the beginning. Also, Rework is a very good company too, about working remotely, design good products. And the Lean Startup is maybe the most famous book about startups, how to start, how to move fast at the beginning, as you don't have a lot of resource. So it's very important to move fast. And here was our first office. So it was not an actual office. It was a house that we worked at night. We had regular jobs, and at night we started as a side project. So at late at night we worked at the beginning of Even3. So it was a very hard time at the beginning, the valley of that literally. So we also tell everyone our ideas. Some people have fear of sharing your idea, but I think that's quite the opposite. You need to share most of your idea. The difference is the execution of the idea. The idea itself don't value nothing. So we got a lot of feedbacks from people more experienced. So we learned a lot through this process. Until today, we share a lot about our problems with most experienced people that passed it, about the problem at that stage. So it's very nice share. So people, your friends or people with more experience could give you feedback. So keep the idea on to you, will not work. So I will pass also here the parties at the end of the year so you can see the evolution of our startup. At the first year, it was only the founders and the only one beer. It was very hard. We shared at the end of 2015. We started to share a quite real house with another company. So we moved from that house that we worked at night. At the end of 2015, the founders decided to focus 100% in Even3. It was very important too. As the customers start growing, we need to focus. But it was very hard because the startup didn't generate so much revenue at the beginning. So we knew that we will pass hard times, financially telling, um, the next years. But it was a very important decision to develop the startup, be 100% all the day working at the startup. So we moved to 2016, and we got a lot of punches at the beginning. So that's another thing about starting a startup. At the beginning, you have a lot of problems. The product don't work perfectly. Your business model will not be perfect too. So you will get a lot of bad feedbacks that you need to filter, work on, prioritize, move fast, and keep going, and focus in your customer mainly. That's the most important thing. So we got a lot of punches. We presented, I did, and I do a lot of pitch selling what Even3 is, and we go to some competitions and some pitch competition, startups competition, and we didn't get the prizes, but we get the people knowing about us, and that's the important point, and also got feedbacks to develop our startup. Uh, so we had another opportunity that is an acceleration program called Seed that is very famous here in Brazil that helps developing the startup for 6 months. You receive some money and you don't need to share your equity. The objective is to get some incentives for startups growing and generating opportunities for employees, for example. So we applied for seed and we got another punch. We didn't pass. We go through the final steps and process. We had some steps and interviews. We were very confident that the startup was going very well, but we were rejected. And we, oh my God, we will fail again. But after some days, we got a call from the program. Some startups didn't accept to go to the program or pass it in another program, and we got very happy to we got a big win there. Passing here was the day that we flight to the program. My partner here, Renato, got a hangover, as you can see, but it was a very happy moment that we passed it to this time. So we arrived at another state, is in another state from here where we live, and we go there with another 40 startups to share knowledge, experience, develop the startups, also get some money to accelerate through 6 months, and was a great victory, a great deal to be there sharing experience. We had startups from all over Brazil and also from some startups from other countries too. So it was a very rich experience. So the accelerating program was very good to give us experience and learn about the process of building a startup. And we were all in. As we moved to another state, we were very committed and doing everything in the program. He was real reality show about startup. Then let us say I want to to share. I want to tell about Even3, and so all the activities that we can go, you are all in. We learn it. We were all the time sharing and very passionate about the program. Well, all that we can extract about experience, learnings, and knowledge, we were all in. And because of that, we had the demo day at the end of the program that only the top 8 startups presented there, and this was the audience of the presentation. It was one of the scariest ones. I think it was the big audience that I had presented, and but it was very nice to us about telling people, potential investor here was me presenting the startup. So it was a very good moment to that we passed. So we have a lot of highs and downs, as you can see. And build a startup is like that. It's not, we see most of the time we see all only in the media the highs, but we have a lot of downs and highs, as you can see through the history. So be prepared to pass all the highs and downs, and that you will pass through the journey. So here is at the end of the demo day, and it was nice. Here was our first intern, and that we called him to be at that stage too, at the final moment of the program. And also, we committed a lot more until the end, and we finished at the second place at the end. So we got from out of the batch to the second place, so it was a very huge victory too, to make such a big progress through these 6 months. So it's an awesome moment that we live it through, and that growth, the founders' growth was awesome too. And here was the 2016 party. We had the first 3 interns. One of them couldn't be there that year, so the team was starting to grow, and it, some challenge comes off from that too. And here we are starting to advance through the life cycle now. Uh, we passed through the death valley, the valley of death. So we start to generating more revenue, passing through the acceleration program. We learned a lot, and we launched more features and talked with a lot of customers too, getting feedbacks. So we advanced more steps. And in 2017, we got back to Recife, that is our headquarters, and started our first real office there. And a small office where we had our first 3 interns here. And we started, it was good to focus 100% back in the business. The accelerator program also took you some time about learning, and you can't focus 100% in the business. So here we are back with a lot of learnings to focus and grow our business. And from the prize of second place, we got a ticket to South by Southwest event in Austin. It's an awesome event too. It was my first time in US. It was great to learn. It's a 3-day tech event that's all around Austin, and we can learn from the top persons in technology that share knowledge. It's a huge, huge event that's all in these points of the city. And also, I see very nice things that only I see. It was this nice car, and they took a picture, of course. And here we started in 2017 the challenge of growing the team. And as you grow as a team, you need more resource, as people is the most valuable asset, the most important thing in the startups. So the intellectual and people knowledge will will be the main thing. You need to attract big talents, invest in people to develop the team. That's the main point about startups. It's the main investment that you need to do. And we tried to raise an angel investment to accelerate this team growth and product growth. And we took some punches. I passed 1 month in São Paulo, that's a financial city here in Brazil. And I took some punches from the angel investors telling that we are not growing so much, our market was not so big, and as always, we have the highs and downs. But after that 1 month, I come back to Recife and got some another connections locally here. And but we are advanced, and we finished the 2017 year growing our team. As you can see, the final party from this year, we could have some tables at the bar as our team was growing. So it was starting to grow our team. In 2018, at the beginning, we closed our angel round, and so we got a local angel investor here that loved the team, the passion that we had about solving that problems, how we are growing focused in our customers. So we got the angel around here, and it was very important about our growth. And we advanced more steps here as we have more resources to keep growing our startup, and it was a big advance too. So we could move to a bigger office, a very good one, where we can grow our team and grow, bring better talents, training the talents, the first talents that we had. So was a great addition. Also, the angel investor that we have helped us a lot about connecting with the market and helping us also in day by day problems too. And we moved to a really a bigger office, so we have more space. People could sharing more, collaborate, and that was very important in this year. Our growth was very intense in 2008 about the team. As you can see here, we doubled the team in this year, and it was a very great challenge, a great management challenge to grow the team, to teach the first leaderships. So it was a very important moment of building the foundation team to grow more in the future. So it was a very fast growth to double the team in just 1 year. So it's very hard to double customers and double the team. So most of 2018 was focused about there. And we got in 2019 that the main point was establishing our culture and to be a foundation too for future growth. And we got very clear to the team what was the main values that we live it or really relieve it, not was just values written in the walls. As for example, customer focus, we did the first meetup about the customer success topic in our town. Our team went to the main event in Brazil about this topic. We really lives this value. Everybody studies at some point or help our customer in some way. It's not just part of the team. All the team have the purpose to help our customers. As marketing, product, all the teams help at some way our customers. So we are very focused about this value. Another very important value is learning and teaching. As you need to move fast and the market moves fast today, everybody needs to be learning. We joke as that we are never prepared for the next year, so we need to learn new things, read books, go to events, learning. So we invest at this point very much in the team, and they love this. We seek people that like to learn always. So it's one of things that you are looking at the hiring process too. And about teamwork and transparency is another very important point. So our offices are is open, all the metrics, everybody has access, and everybody could have power to collaborate, to improve the company, improve the product, give good experience to the customers. So it's another core value that we share. Also, we have people first. We are very careful about that to have great moments, um, have great experience to our customers, to our team, so we can pass to the hard times and in an easy way. So people first is another core value that we share too, to have flexible hours to work. Now we are working remotely as necessary for because of the pandemic. So we really are looking to put people in first place. And we got in at 2019 to our main purpose, that is connecting people and knowledge through our platform, through events, through publications that talk some things. And we also had the 2019 party that was awesome. From one beer in 2015 to all one small bar that was all for us. So it was a very great time, one of the highs that we got. And other things in 2019 was going very well. We are rising customers, revenue, and to don't forget the hard times, we got 2020, as you know. And we got the pandemic, and was a very hard punch in the middle of our face. A very hard one, as our main product is about events that put together a lot of people, so people couldn't organize offline events since March or February here. So we got a very hard punch about that. And we took a very important lesson from Charles Darwin, that is also the name of the office building for coincidence. And the lesson is that not the strongest or not the most intelligent is that survives, but the most adaptable to the change. So we need to act fast. We talked with our team that was necessary, move really fast at that time, or we could die. We were like close to 2 years after we our angel investment, so we were running out of cash at this point, and was very hard to got a pandemic in the middle of that, and we need to move fast. So we launched, we were the first platform in Brazil to launch the possibility of doing online events, and was very important to move fast about that. We produced a lot of content. Since the early days, we are very focused of about producing content to help our customers, and we did a lot of content in less than 1 month about how to do online events, what the equipment, how they can do. that most of people didn't do online events at that time, at the beginning of the pandemic, and we need to teach the people how to do that. How could be awesome do an online event that could reach thousands and thousands of people that maybe you can't reach doing an offline event. And also we advanced in our publishing platform that makes easy to publish our research, a magazine, a book. So we also advanced this platform too, as that was not so much affected through the pandemic. For the opposite, the more traditional publishers didn't have tools to do that online, and most of your customers started to look for online solutions and found us. So we also helped it and developing more fast our publishing platform. And as some people share in Twitter, here's how we started and how we are going. Very recently, we raised a seed round from a very good VC in Brazil, a venture capital. So it was a very big win for that very hard moment. So we passed it again for a down moment, but as the team core values prevailed and we could pass through this hard moment, and was very very important. And here was some press media that covered us very like 1 month ago about these news, and the team is very happy about that, and the teamwork can make it all the difference to pass this hard time. And it was a very good compensation about that, to be a very a good consequence of the very good teamwork. And we passed another step through the journey as we raised the first venture capital money. Was very important. The knowledge that right venture capital is very important too. They are helping us a lot with their experience. So we are going now moving a lot more faster the next years too. So we are building the platform to connect people and knowledge. We hope in the future a easy place where you can find knowledge, open knowledge, find events, find researchers, find technical people, some publications, and connect all this together. So it will be very easy to develop your research, share it some companies, and some companies find researchers. So we want to make it easy connect people, institutions to knowledge. So it was make us wake all the days, had that punch face and keep move going on, as you see that we have a great mission, and we are doing very good progress about that. And also we are going global very soon. We plan to launch in the next year in English and Spanish, so we can reach more people with our platform. You also recently bought the even3.com domain. That was the dream since the beginning, but the domain was very expensive for the early days. So now that raised money for venture capital allowed us to buy this domain. So we are very happy too about growing and bringing for more people our platform. We hope to reach more events, publishers soon, and it will be very awesome to make a good impact on more people. That's the main point that makes me very motivated to have a solution that millions of people use. Today we passed more than 4 million users, so it's kind of crazy. look back and see this as we are started and what we are achieving. So it's very very intense years that we are passing and passed through this journey. So thank you very much. Hope you that help you, and feel free to reach me at email, LinkedIn. Feel free to give some feedback. Hope you that you learned something. Thank you. See you.